Once upon a time, in a small town nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling river, lived a young woman named Sue. She had always felt like life had a way of beating her up. From a young age, she faced hardships that seemed to follow her like relentless shadows. Sue stood in front of the small, weathered cottage that had been her family's home for as long as she could remember. The paint was peeling, and the swing that hung from the tree in the front yard had seen better days. It had been her favorite spot as a child, but now it swayed slightly askew, a reflection of the hardships her family had endured. But despite the love that filled their home, Sue's family had always struggled. Her parents worked tirelessly, but the economic downturn that had hit their small town was unrelenting. Jobs were scarce, and wages were low. They barely made enough to cover the basics, let alone provide Sue with opportunities to pursue her dreams. Sue's parents had their own dreams once, she thought, as she gazed at a faded photograph of them on their wedding day. Her father had wanted to start a business, and her mother had aspired to be an artist. But life had other plans for them. Health issues had arisen, leading to medical bills that piled up. They had to put their dreams on hold to support the family. As she touched the peeling paint on the cottage's facade, Sue couldn't help but feel a pang of guilt. She had always known her parents' sacrifices, and she had wanted to lift them out of their struggles. But as she grew older, the weight of her own inadequacies pressed upon her. Her dreams of pursuing a creative career seemed more distant with each passing day. With a sigh, Sue turned away from the house and headed toward the riverbank, where she often sought solace. Her heart was heavy with the burden of her family's financial hardships and her own dreams deferred. It was a difficult journey, but she was determined to find a way to break free from the cycle that had held her back for so long. As the years passed, Sue made her fair share of bad choices. One of the bad choices that haunted Sue the most was the time she chose to hang out with the wrong crowd during her teenage years. It was a group of rebellious friends who led her astray, pushing her into risky behaviors and questionable decisions. Among those decisions, one that weighed on her conscience was stealing from a local convenience store during a late-night escapade with her newfound friends. This act of theft not only violated her principles but also resulted in lasting guilt and shame. Sue's regret over that choice lingered, as it marked a point in her life when she felt far from the person she had always aspired to be. One particularly gloomy evening, as Sue sat by the riverbank, she reflected on her life's journey. Tears welled up in her eyes as she thought about the mistakes she had made and the opportunities she had missed. She felt like a ship lost in a turbulent sea, with no direction and no hope. Just then, an elderly woman with kind eyes and a warm smile approached Sue. "May I sit with you, dear?" she asked. Sue nodded, and the woman settled down beside her. "You seem like you've been through a lot," the elderly woman said gently. Sue hesitated but then began to pour out her heart, recounting her struggles and regrets. She spoke of her feelings of inadequacy and how life had taken her on a winding, difficult path. The elderly woman listened intently, nodding sympathetically. When Sue finished, the woman spoke, her voice filled with wisdom. "I want you to remember something, dear. No matter what you've been through, your value remains the same. Life can throw its worst at you, but that doesn't define who you are. You have something special to offer that no one can take away from you." Sue looked puzzled. "But how can that be? I've made so many mistakes, and I'm nowhere near where I thought I'd be in life." The woman smiled kindly. "Your mistakes do not diminish your worth. They are part of your journey, part of what makes you who you are. Every experience, whether good or bad, has shaped you into the unique person you are today. You have the power to learn from those mistakes, to grow stronger, and to use your experiences to help others." As Sue pondered the woman's words, she realized that her value wasn't determined by her past choices or life's challenges. She had the strength to rise above her circumstances, to make better choices, and to pursue her dreams with renewed determination. With gratitude in her heart, Sue thanked the elderly woman and watched as she walked away, disappearing into the evening mist. That encounter by the riverbank became a turning point in Sue's life. She embraced her past, learned from her mistakes, and found the courage to pursue her dreams once more.